Hi everyone, Good Luck Cosplay here. I'm going to show you a technique that I've used to make this seam between two pieces of foam look like a weld. I'm going to start by gluing my two pieces together to create our seam. And the star of the show here is Kwikseal, because this is what the actual bumpiness of the weld is going to be. And I'm going to use a Nerf dart as my tool for shaping it, just because I found that does work. Then we'll add some Plastidip and some metal finish paint to make it look really cool. Now what I'm about to show you works really well when you have your seam looking like this. However, if you have a seam that looks like this, it can be really ugly, and a weld is a really good way to cover it up. So that's what I'm going to do here. There we've got our really bad seam. Let's cover it up. I'm going to take my Kwikseal and put a thin bead all along the place where I want the weld to be. Okay, this is a fresh line because the clip that I just took of me doing this was completely out of focus. Let's try this again. Okay, so I'm going to dab it down a little bit, just to get a nice little base for it. Okay, so we just rock your tool back and forth to get a bit of a wave. Okay, are we still in focus? Yes, we are. Okay, and you could do it a little bit closer. You end up doing more of the waves. The idea is you want to catch a little bit and then push it forward. Catch a little bit and push it forward, or push it back, I guess it would be. Now, you might be tempted to go over it again. However, be aware that if you start from over here again, you're going to have to do pretty much the whole thing again. Here's why. You doing this, every time that you do it, you're grabbing it from behind, and you end up having to do it all over again. So, kind of managed to get close there, but yeah. There's our weld. So now you got to let it dry. It does take quite a while for this to dry when it's bulked up like this. So I would leave this overnight. So we'll come back to this when it dries. It's the next day and it is all nice and dry. So now I'm going to put on one layer each of Plastidip and the metallic finish paint. I am outside in the least windy section of my yard. Of course, someone is mowing their lawn. Here we go. Plastidip. You want to make sure you get it from more than just one angle, because it does have a texture to it. If you want a good cover, you have to do like 3 different angles to get it right. One thing that I've noticed that sometimes happens when you put the Kwikseal on this thick is the Plastidip doesn't adhere 100%. It has a few thin spots, but don't worry about it. It will get covered in the next layer of paint. Okay, some metallic finish paint. Look at that. I just love this metallic finish paint. Now for painting some detail on here, I'm going to be using some black, green, and this is a reddish brown. I think I'm going to start with some of the brown. So this is to make it look rusty. Just going to water down the paint just a little bit. So I'm not going to be fully painting everywhere. This is kind of like weathering. I'm just going to use a little bit of the green, and this is supposed to make it look like there's some other type of corrosion in here, like from the if there's anything that's non-iron. As you do this, you might have to go back and forth between colors, because you might realize that you don't have enough of some. As I said before, I am not a painter. This is not my strong suit. Okay. So that's kind of our base colors, because then I'm going to put some black on. Now I'm going to let this dry for a minute. And finally, we take the black and do a wash. So my paint job is not particularly good, but it does give you the idea of how you can make this nice welding effect. So I hope this helps you with your own projects. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.